Please, Patrick, why? Why are you destroying your reputation? You've developed this reputation as a truth teller. That's why you rose in popularity.
When you said they think they're better than you, you believe that Jews think they're better than everybody else.
It says it in their Bible.
Okay, but you believe they're better than everybody else. Okay.
I didn't say they're better than everybody else.
They think.
According to their scripture.
Okay, but what if...
And then if you look at how they operate, right, like they literally caught people raping Palestinian prisoners, and there was riots. But the riots weren't because they were raping the prisoners. The riots were because they felt like they had the right to rape prisoners. That's why they almost had a war, because they felt like they had the right to rape these prisoners. They felt like that was okay because they weren't Jewish. So, you know, when you have a society that operates like that, you're going to have problems, and they're not the most moral army. That's all, you know, everything that they say, it's just like almost like, listen, when somebody lies to me, like if you lie to me, I'm not probably going to trust you again. You lie to me a second time, I'm definitely not going to trust you. You lie to me a third time, and I let you lie to me the third time, I'm the idiot. These motherfuckers have lied like 10,000 times. So like, I don't believe anything they say anymore.
I come from a place of, I don't sit here expecting you to tell me 100% the truth.
Come on, Patrick. Why? Why are you doing this? You don't expect someone that you're talking to tell you 100% of the truth? Like, you just expect people just to lie to your face? Like, how can you be a successful businessman if that's the way that you operate? Like, yeah, if you're going into with a stranger, you're talking to a complete stranger. Yeah, you don't know the person, but if it's your greatest ally, like the person that you consider your greatest ally, your closest associate, and you don't expect them to be 100% truthful to you, that's the claim that Israel is the greatest ally of the U.S. This is what you're saying because, oh, without Israel, Iran would be so bad, you know, whatever that point was that you made. But you're claiming that they're the greatest ally. You expect your greatest ally to lie to you or not be 100% truthful? How does that make any sense?
I don't sit here thinking, yeah, Dan's going to tell me 100% the truth with whatever he has in his life. I don't expect that from you because I don't expect people to walk on water. That's not my expect. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to live it with my life, but...
People aren't like Jesus. People aren't walking on water. They're not saints. You got to expect lies every now and then, like straight up lies into your face. Your family, your loved ones, your spouse, just lying to your face. Of course. No one's Jesus. Oh, please, Patrick, why? Why are you destroying your reputation? You've developed this reputation as a truth teller. That's why you rose in popularity, because you're willing to say the hard truths at risk to your wealth. When it came to COVID, for example, when it came to vaccines, you built your brand on truth telling. Arguably, that's your biggest strength. Otherwise, you're just another guy who, you know, is interviewing celebrities. So what? But why people come to you and trust you is because, oh, Patrick was willing to put it all on the line to save lives, to actually save lives, to speak the truth. And he didn't care about the consequences. That's what your reputation is built on. You're setting a match to all of that. You're flushing all of that down the toilet when you make these ridiculous statements. And it looks really bad because the person that you happen to be interviewing is being extremely honest and extremely authentic. And when you're side by side with that person, you look that much worse. So this is a disaster for Patrick. And I don't know if he's learned his lesson.
You can't think that China's going to tell us the truth, or Iran tells us the truth, or US tells everybody the truth, or you think any country is going to tell us 100% the truth.
Yeah, but China, Iran, all of those countries are not considered the greatest ally of the United States. We're not giving billions of dollars, trillions actually of dollars to China or Iran. We are giving it to Israel. Can we at least get a little bit of honesty? Does trillions of dollars buy you any honesty from Israel? No. It actually gets you stabbed in the back over and over and over again, thousands of times.
But
I don't know, man. I got a different moral code. Like in gambling,
It's not about you
and
having a different
but in
moral
gambling
code.
and business, like with my friend group, like you lie one time, you welch on a debt, you do one
you're
thing.
talking friendship, though.
I'm just saying, my friends, people that I know, people that I do business with, people I gamble with, like
It's the same thing I have as well. It's the same thing most people have. There's a difference between on the personal side than on the country.
This is not what Patrick is expecting. And the dynamic here is, I think that Dan Bilzerian is a higher net worth than Patrick Bet-David. Dan has a bigger following on social media. He has a higher net worth. This is in Dan's house. So Patrick is coming to Dan to interview Dan. It's not like Dan is flying into PBD's studio. So that's the power dynamic. Patrick is, looking up to Dan. And so he expects, like, the assumption that Patrick has is that if you want to advance and progress up the ladder and you want to get to the level of a billionaire status, you have to toe the line. Like, you have to be tiptoe around this Israel issue. Make sure you don't criticize Israel, let alone Jews or Judaism. Be very diplomatic. Always mention how it's two sides. The Palestinians are doing a lot of bad stuff too. That's how you advance your career. That's how you make sure you don't get canceled and lose the potential for tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. That's Patrick's assumption. So he is thrown off by what Dan is saying because it's so unexpected. It's basically shattering his understanding of how things work. How can this guy, does he not care? Does he not care about the money that he's going to lose? Does he not care about the potential to get deplatformed or debanked? He already said that he's worried about being thrown off the board of his own company. He's already mentioned that he's worried about getting killed. So I think this is a good wake-up call for Patrick. Patrick, look at what Dan is doing. Look at the stand that he's taking for the truth, for speaking what is just. And it's true too, Patrick Bet-David. It's true. But how can you look yourself in the mirror? And I think he said that earlier in the interview, in one of the earlier questions. Like, you can have all this wealth, you can have all the money, you can have all the women, you can have all the cars, you can have all the planes. But can you look at yourself in the morning in the mirror and not be ashamed at the fact that you can't speak the truth, that you lied? Meanwhile, there are children, women and children and innocent people getting wiped out, and you are not speaking out against that. In fact, you're speaking in favor of those who are committing those crimes. And it doesn't matter what kind of justifications you tell yourself to convince yourself that what you're doing is okay. Deep down, you know that it is wrong. What you're doing is wrong. So how can you look at yourself? How can you live with yourself? What is the value, the dollar amount of being able to live with yourself? That's the question that Patrick has to ask. And Dan is telling him it, like, straight up. That's the subtext. That's the subtext of this entire interview. Like, why is Dan speaking the truth and Patrick is not?